Yo, what is going on, guys? Mobile Carrier News here, and AT&T News. AT&T hits their first 250 million subscribers of customers for mobile usage. Now, this is especially for 5G low band coverage. Now, this is good news for AT&T. AT&T is projected to, I believe, gain 30 million customers by either this year or next year. AT&T is rapidly growing. They're the second biggest company compared to AT&T. And on top of that, AT&T has the fastest LTE CFR. They do have, don't get me wrong, they have fast 5G as well, but their LTE dominates even more because we all know AT&T focuses really good on coverage and speed. Even though Verizon gains more on the coverage spectrum, AT&T fills in the gap for speeds. Their speeds go anywhere from 500 megabytes per second, depending on your area, to 1.2 gigabytes of download speed. Now that is some insane speed right there. I'm projected AT&T will gain more customers with this news. On top of that, AT&T has also uncapped their unlimited data plan, and they've also gotten an extended hotspot, and they also have, what else did they have? They have extended hotspot. They took out throttling for their unlimited data plan, and they also included 4K streaming for their service. This is some really good news for AT&T. I like where AT&T is going. Um, Personally, my experience, I never really had good coverage. Well, I did have good coverage. Don't get me wrong, but I've always had issues with AT&T having them as a carrier. I've had AT&T from 2011 to, I believe, 2019, so about 8 years I've had AT&T, and I don't know why I don't know why the coverage wasn't good in my area. Maybe AT&T didn't really do well in mountain areas close to the beach, so that could have been a problem. But now I'm honestly hyped to go back to AT&T. They were really they I'm reading the article. It says they're projected to have 70 million to 75 million people covered with C-band. Verizon is set to have 150 to 200 million covered with C-band. Now, even though Verizon's going to have more people covered, AT&T is still going to dominate. It's still going to dominate the speed with C-band. AT&T is really insane with speed. I've known even when I used to have them, their speeds were insane. Back then, when I was on 4G LTE, when I was downloading a video that was like 3 minutes, the whole video would load up in literally probably like in a minute. In a minute, the whole screen would just be loaded up, and I could watch the whole video. A 3 minute video, I was able to watch it all, literally all while it streamed like that feast, just fast speeds coming up, and that was mostly in my house too because I was testing the network. I wasn't doing really speed tests back in the day, but I was testing everything out and basically seeing how fast it was. So AT&T is really fast. Their coverage is really good too. I did have issues with coverage for AT&T when I went to the beach. So I'm pretty sure AT&T's coverage for the beach is better now than it was back then. But AT&T is predicted to really go high with their they've really shown themselves that they're the second biggest carrier with Verizon, because now Verizon actually has competition, and now the fact that AT&T released their new data plan with more gigabytes of hotspot, 4K video streaming, and a truly unlimited data. Which, don't get me wrong, it will get congested massively. I believe the same thing will happen to Verizon if they release a new data plan. I think AT&T just needs to patch up or put more panels in their towers, or get more backhaul. That's what AT&T needs to really focus on now. Since today they've unleashed their new data plan, they really need to get their priorities in order, because the last thing people want is to be in a one area with a lot of people with AT&T and T and just getting congested. Like, even though the plan says you won't be throttled, if the network is too much to handle, it will get congested. It won't be AT&T's fault. It'll just be the tower, because that's how a tower basically works when it's not powered up by a lot of when it doesn't have a lot of power for a tower. So, what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think AT&T is set to go up in their network? Do you think AT&T will gain more customers? I'm curious to see what AT&T will do in the coming years. Now that they're not focusing much on cable, well, they're focusing, I believe, 40% on cable, and I believe another 10% on TV channels. AT&T is really going off with the 5G and the mobile network, just like everyone else. I'm really curious how AT&T is going to perform with this. What do you guys think about this? Hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.